and richness to their experience as scholars. They did not choose the path of least resistance, and their presence here today is a testament to their commitment to excellence and achievement. But they didn't only excel in the classroom and the laboratory. The students here today have been leaders in student government and clubs, organizations, campus-wide activities, and community service. They've learned that a college education is not only about imparting knowledge and about learning, but also getting involved as citizens in a democratic society. So I know that they will continue to inspire us and to enrich our community as engaged alumni for years to come. There is someone with us today who demonstrates all those virtues and exemplifies what it means to be a UConn Honors graduate. Akshayaa Chittibabu is a Harry S. Truman Scholar and STEM Scholar from Massachusetts, graduating with a Phi Beta Kappa with an individualized degree in health policy and social medicine and a minor in sociology. Akshayaa's passion for bridging health disparities has led her to crafting federal patient engagement strategies as an innovation fellow at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, assisting U.S. Senator Christopher Murphy with state health care and immigration casework, and delivering health education to disadvantaged communities in Connecticut. Her global health work includes promoting national global health campaigns for the UN Foundation, building and implementing a novel health education program in rural India as a Holster Scholar, and establishing and directing UConn's nationally recognized Global Health Symposium. Akshayaa was recently selected to represent UConn and the United States at the Government of Malaysia's International Leadership Conference in August due to her work in establishing the UConn Global Health Symposium. Outside of healthcare, she's committed to diversity and multiculturalism and has served on the University President's Council on Race and Diversity, leading initiatives for the student government. And she also studied in South Korea as a U.S. Department of State critical language scholar. I'm exhausted just reading this. It's time for me to take a nap. Her dedication to public service has been recognized by the Newman Civic Fellowship and the Washington Leadership Program. She's the first student in UConn history to win both the Truman and Marshall Scholarship, and only one of two students nationwide to do that this year. Akshayaa will be working at the World Bank Inspection Panel as a Truman Fellow this summer before going to get her master's in sociology at Oxford. And she hopes to spend her career serving the American public equitably as a physician and a legislator. So I think that's probably enough. You probably want to hear from Akshayaa. She's, I think, one of the best students we've had at the university, but also representative of so many of the honor students that we have here today. So think of her as one of many leaders in this room, but a really nice representative, I think, of all the opportunities at UConn and where it can launch you. So please join me in welcoming Akshayaa.
Thank you, President Herbst, for the introduction. It's been truly wonderful to be a student at UConn during the tenure of its first female president. On behalf of my class, thank you for your leadership and best wishes as you move forward in your next chapter of academia. All right. When winter wanes into spring each year, hundreds of thousands of seeds on Store's sprawling campus face a conundrum. Months of snow and footsteps have packed the soil above them into an almost insurmountable barrier. The soil is cold, dark, and poor in oxygen. In order for the seeds to sprout, they must defeat all of these odds stacked against them. Knowing this, the seeds risk it all and go on the journey of a lifetime. To generate the force, you need to break through their own shells and then pierce through the frozen, dense dirt. The seeds burn their own limited energy reserves and slowly warm the layers above them. To choose to do this is to risk the failure to germinate, to put in an incredible amount of work and faith, and to possibly still burn out and have nothing to show for it. Regardless, the seeds take this leap of faith every year. After all, on the other side of the fear of failure is abundant water, sunlight, and the potential to grow into something truly beautiful. I'm sure you can all resonate with the journey of the seeds when thinking about your own college careers here as a part of the UConn Honors Program. We've all felt buried and overwhelmed at times, but have remained immensely hopeful, making the conscious decision to break past our own limitations time and time again. During our years here, we have cultivated an incredible sense of resilience for ourselves, of imagining a reality worth working for and deciding to work towards it at all costs, of sprouting, then blooming, despite adversity. Our time in the Honors Program has been a constant study in resilience. We have been given incredible advisors who push us to new heights, and perhaps even more importantly, we have been gifted with amazing peers who have supported us through the various milestones we have overcome together. Surviving the Buckley Plague, changing majors, deciding whether or not we'll go to medical school, let's be honest, we've all contemplated it, completing senior design projects, and finally, writing and submitting our theses. Or if you're me, asking for an extension. I knew I had found a family in the honors community when the Buckley Plague hit our floor particularly hard during freshman spring. I somehow caught pneumonia, bronchitis, and strep in 1 week, and was basically quarantined to student health services. During this time, my friends from Buckley and Chippy took shifts bringing me food, drinks, and notes, making sure I always had company from the early morning to the late evening. This is doubly touching when you consider that they did this despite my tendency to make awful and frequent dad jokes. The experience was a true testament to the spirit of the honors community, warm, empathetic, and accepting. It has been heartwarming to come full circle this year as a Shippy RA, and to watch freshman honors students lift each other up as we have done over these past 4 years. Some of us honors students have been here since the very beginning, and others have joined along the way, allowing us to experience a diverse, thriving community of scholars and leaders. I don't think it is a coincidence that many of our closest friends have come from this community, where we found confidants, business partners, and for the lucky few, the loves of our lives. Through all of these relationships, both with our honors mentors and peers, we have been encouraged to challenge our notions of success and fulfillment through service, leadership, and innovation. It is this sense of self-reflection that we will find most valuable in retrospect when leaving beloved stores. Of course, all seeds need to be watered. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask my class to show their support through a round of applause for all the family and friends who have made sure that we are here today. We couldn't be here without you, and I definitely couldn't be here if it were not for Anita, Keitany, and Akshayaa Chittibabu. Standing here, I see that all our resilience has paid off. I see my class in bloom after piercing through the soil, now growing towards the sun and the light it offers. I look forward to seeing you all reap the fruits of your labor as you go into professional and graduate school, lay the groundwork for one of the most important presidential elections in our nation's history, teach the next generation of Connecticut and beyond, and engineer the solutions to some of our world's most pressing problems. Some of your hands will bring new life into the world. Many of you will work to protect these lives and ensure their thriving. Through all of these endeavors and the new seasons they will lead us into, I hope that you will all find the courage to call upon yourselves to be even greater in your darkest times. When it seems like doors are shutting, I hope you will continue to push forward. I promise, if you've been able to push forward through 4 years of Storrs winters and wind tunnel springs, you can push through anything. As we continue to break glass ceilings, climb to higher roofs, and survive and thrive in the face of personal hardship, I'd like to leave you with a Mexican proverb that seems fitting for the occasion. Quisieran enterrarnos, pero no sabían que éramos semillas. In English, they tried to bury us, not knowing that we are seeds. Like seeds, I know we will all continue to expand outside of what we thought possible for ourselves, as we strive for a greater tomorrow. To the Honors Program Class of 2019, I'm so incredibly grateful to have had the chance to grow amongst you all. Congratulations.
tall. Thank you, Akshayaa, for such inspirational remarks. Tomorrow's leaders and innovators will cross the stage shortly, and after hearing your speech, I'm confident that the future is in capable and enthusiastic hands. Proof of that exceptional preparation is here today in both the stewards of knowledge